Hey guys, how you doing? So we're back again with the Serpwizz reports, and this time we're talking about ultimately the language settings on your website. So this is in reference to ultimately your Google Search Console, where you can tell Google what country, as well as therefore region and language that you're targeting. So per lemon, we're targeting EN, which is English, and GB, which is Great Britain. So that's kind of the principle with how this actual process works. So if I give you an example of perhaps a different company, let's go to white label reports. Let's have a look at what else we have that comes up. In fact, let's go to ConvertCart and see what country they're ranking for. So the way that you find this, by the way, is if I go into Google Search Console, you'll see that I've got Search Console open here, and it's got international targeting, etc. So Google Search Console has it tells us you've got no URLs with a good page experience. This is Google Search Console. They've updated it slightly, and there's some legacy tools and reports which ultimately are still in the process of being ported over into their new format. And in there, you could click international targeting, and then when you open this, you'll find your languages where you can set your Reflang hreflang tags up, and then you can also determine your primary country. So we're targeting users in the United Kingdom. So there you go. You can see, and there's like a bunch of sites that we got in here. And if we have a look at DVC experts, you'll see that it's targeting users in the United States as an example. And we need to save that, in fact. So just saved that. So there you go. That is what that's there for. And this is important from an SEO perspective, because it's important for Google to understand your regional targeting and what you're trying to achieve with it. So let me see, is setting your, I'm curious, setting your regional targeting in GSC for SEO. Just have a look if there's anything else that comes up. So let's just have a read of that. Geographic, that's 2015. Let's have a look at past year to see what is international targeting and how you do it. So let's just have a look. Updated May 2020. Hoping to find new customers in new markets. Google Search Console international targeting may be an easy way to answer this. Is so underutilized. They didn't even mention international targeting. It's not very well known about. It's still not getting as much attention as it deserves. Oh, Google Search Console. Brace yourself, you're about to learn everything you ever want to know about international targeting in Google Search Console. Your website target countries that speak different languages than your native tongue. Yeah. How do you know if you should use Reflang markup on your site? Your website domain is generic, but you want to target businesses that speak certain languages and countries. So this is the area, basically. 2.9 million pages of SEO issues stemming from Reflang issues. So Reflang is where you can set up the referring language effectively, and this goes into quite a lot of depth for why that's important. As you can see here, see here, see here, it's what we were discussing. Don't forget to click save. And how does it work for SEO? Strongly hint that your content is more relevant to users. A strong hint that your content is more relevant to users in the region you've set. It may help a little in that particular region, but won't affect your site in other regions. So yeah, guys, there's probably more that goes on, but thank you, Jonathan. That is some insights into why it's so important. And is there anything, quickly, let's have a look at what Chloe says. Let's accept that. See if there's anything that's optimize your URL structure for international targeting. So you've got a country code top level domain. Subdomain, internationalized content, subfolder, into different domain, of course. So there's ways to do it from a URL structure, and then there's Reflang to add language tags, which we discussed. Check it's set up correctly, which we saw. So guys, I hope you get this gives you some insights anyway into the importance of. Let's go back. Let's just see where these guys are targeting. Can we find it? Can we find it? We found your declared language unknown. And this is obviously a bug that we've got, which we're going to try and fix. So yeah, guys, that is a good way for us to discover some other problems with our tool. And I hope all of that makes sense. And that is what to do when you're considering international language targeting.